Bonjour, I am Nate, and this is your Nate course on the Haitian Revolution. So, let's get right into it. So today, we will be talking about a little island on the globe that happens to be in the Caribbean island called Haiti. The Haitian Revolution happened in Haiti, hence the name Haitian Revolution. But back then, it was a French colony. Haiti's sugar plantations produced so much sugar, and it led them to become one of the most successful colonies or islands in the world at the time. While yes, they were very successful, this work came at a very high cost. Slavery. There were a lot of enslaved Africans on the island who did all the work. And being a slave is bad enough, so I'm sure I don't really have to explain why it's bad or anything. But being a slave on a sugar plantation is awful because of the work conditions and the amount of labor that it took to produce the sugar cane. But we'll come back to this later because it is very important piece. Okay, so moving on. There were four social groups in Haiti. Starting at the top, there were the Grand Blancs. The Grand Blancs were rich white men who owned the slaves and all that type of stuff. They had all the business, all the sugar, and all that belonged to them later. Next up, we had free people of color. So these people of color, normally one of their parents was one of these white Grand Blancs, and one of their parents was just another slave. And so sometimes their white parent would free them, and a lot of them were really wealthy. Some of them were not so wealthy. Some of them were just poor still, but they were still free, which is better than being an enslaved person. And then next on the list, we have the Petits Blancs. These were the poorer white people who did a lot of the work. They weren't quite slaves, but they did do a lot of the hard work. Okay, and last on the list were the enslaved people, and of course you can tell why they're at the bottom of the list. But we'll get back to that later. Basically, the French Revolution started when ideas started being spread through the public sphere. These big Enlightenment thinkers called philosophes. I know that was pronounced correctly. Like Diderot and Voltaire and Rousseau. Yeah, you know all of them. They talked and discussed new ideas in places like the Salon and academies. But once they died, they left it in the hands of whoever. So who was gonna take on this big job of spreading Enlightenment thoughts? Basically, they were the Grub Street hacks. These Grub Street hacks spread their thoughts through colorful fiction books, also known as porn. Yes, that's right. The Grub Street hacks were very colorful novels about people in power in France. So people with too much religious power, people like monarchs and stuff like that, because they were trying to desacralize France. And desacralize means they want to take the people who have unnecessary power out of power. So what they did was they would write bad things about these people in power. After these books were smuggled in through peddlers illegally into France, people would get these books and would read them, and then they would start thinking oh my gosh, maybe the king isn't as great as we thought he was. Maybe he really is doing this stuff, or maybe the princess or the Dutch or the duke, and they're all doing this stuff. So it started to lower what people thought of them. Nuns. I'm not gonna get into some of the things that were written about nuns, but yeah, so they just wanted to dethrone these people who had unnecessary power. And honestly, it worked. People started to get their own thoughts and stop thinking that just because the king was a king, that made him right and stuff, and he earned the power. So all this led to the writing of the Doromac, and Article 1 said that all men were equal. And so word got to Haiti through people coming back from France and Haiti, coming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And all the people in Haiti took it a different way. The Grand Blancs took it as all rich white men are equal. So we're finally equal to the rich white men still living in France. Yes! And then the Petit Blancs took it, we're finally equal to the Grand Blancs. Yes! And then the free people of color took it as, we're finally equal to everyone. And then the enslaved people were like, we're no longer slaves because we're equal. So everyone took it their own way, basically. But I just don't think that the Haitian Revolution was a success all the way, because if you look at Haiti today, it is impoverished, extreme poverty. And a lot of people are illegally leaving the country and fleeing to the US because of how awful the circumstances are. So I do not think that the Haitian Revolution was a complete success because of how Haiti is today. But you guys are open to your own ideas. Go ahead and tell me what you guys think in the comment section. All right, bye.